big situation here, and Kirksville, Missouri is going to have ramifications throughout the world. We're going to break ground for the Missouri School of Dentistry and Oral Health, right here. And you've seen some pictures. 333-foot long building, probably one of the finest buildings in North Missouri, or maybe half the state for sure. We're really pleased. We're happy you're here. I want to just give you a few little dates very quickly, but this university's been thinking about this for quite a while, but it really got moving on July 12, 2010 in Jefferson City when we met with the Missouri Primary Care Association Community Health Center directors. They talked to us about the desperate need, and they pleaded with us to do something. Early fall 2010, we had a feasibility study underway to see whether or not this was really something we could do. December 15, 2010, just a week before, I'd received a letter from Governor Schwarzenegger. We were looking at San Diego, and the letter said, "You got to put this in San Diego." I faxed that to somebody down south at the Capitol, and on December 15, 2010, Governor Nixon showed up in my office, handed me a letter of support, and said, "I'm doing Schwarzenegger one better. I'm bringing my letter." February 1, 2011, we had a grassroots community effort that was headed up by Renee Braden and Larry Gardner, who are out here. It was not an effort from our advancement office. It was a community effort resulting in $1.1 million in 4 months to help us. February 17, 2011, Dr. Carl Bynum, then chair of the board, had a news conference here, and many of you were there. Not all, but many of you were there. At that time, he announced in a press conference that ATSU board unanimously supports a dental program in Kirksville, and that was good news. However, he was very clear to say we haven't approved the funding of it yet, but it was a tremendous start. March 31, 2011, the Missouri Foundation for Health, and we have some representatives here. The Missouri Foundation for Health gave us a grant, $500,000 the first year, but if we do it properly, we'll get $3 million over 3 years, and we're going to do it properly. Missouri Foundation for Health. The reason I mentioned that, and I can tell you one of Governor Nixon's reasons for being pretty interested in this, is that when he was Attorney General, he had a lot of cases that he won. He won one against the movement of Blue Cross Blue Shield from private companies to public. Nope, other way. Public to private. He felt they ought to pay us something for the public. He got enough money out of that suit from Blue Cross Blue Shield moving from public to private, that set up the Missouri Foundation for Health. Magnificent. He was also wise enough, and I'm sorry to say this, Senator and Representative, he was wise enough to keep that money away from the governor, keep it away from the House, the Senate. It is a standalone piece, and they control it totally. They have to give away $50 to $55 million a year in order to just do what they're supposed to do. So we think there's another $3 million in there somewhere. We got a plan. And then the biggest thing of all, February 4, 2012, the Board of Trustees authorized, no, I'm sorry, I got my date wrong. October 1, 2011, the Board of Trustees authorized $26 million to do this, and we're going to have the best equipped dental school in the country. $26 million, we're going to build it with $18 million and have a whole lot of money for equipment. There'll not be a better dental school in the country in terms of the equipment. And then we've got the best, I should say second best dean in the whole world. Jack Dillenberg might be number one, but we got a dean coming on that's going to be able to do this exceedingly well. And then the final piece of this was that the board authorized us to go ahead and develop relationships in St. Louis with some of the community health centers and others for a clinic for the third year. We simply don't have. If all of you wanted to come see our dentistry school and get service, we'd have to treat all of you about 20 times in a year to get the patients that are necessary for the third year experience. So our plan is going to do everything well. We're going to have 2 years here. The third year will be a clinic in St. Louis. And then the fourth year is going to have a lot of help with community health centers throughout the state. It's a marvelous model, and we're so pleased with it. And ATSU, Kirksville, Missouri, can get it done with the help of all of you. It'll happen. The first class of 40 students is going to start the fall of 2013. The national and state studies indicate the desperate need that we have. Missouri loses about 70 dentists a year to retirement, with 40 to 45 to 50 returning or coming back and starting again. We had a shortfall of 250 dentists in the licensure data from 2008, and 6 counties, no dentist. 12 counties had only 1 dentist. The shortfall will continue to grow even with this magnificent school. Over 60% of Missouri workers do not have dental insurance, very limited access. The state ranks 47th in the nation in access to dental care for all residents, and 49th in the nation in terms of children to dentists. We've got to change that. Nationwide, we need 6,700 new dentists right now to take care of the shortage. In Missouri, with our 40 students here, when they graduate in 2017, the first class, the shortage in Missouri will be 410 if the projection is correct. We'll be producing 40 of those, and some of those are going to go into military and public health and some other places. Recent headlines has indicated what ATSU knew from day one with Dr. Still, and that's the relationship of oral health to the whole body. Everybody's talking about it now. Dr. Still actually had, I used to call them tools, and then Jason Haxton said, don't call them tools, they're dental instruments. So Dr. Still had his own instruments. He was a dentist as well, but he understood the relationship of oral health to the whole body. That's our heritage. That's what we're going to do. We've got tremendous partners. Building behind you, Andy Grimm with the Community Health Center. There's going to be about 24 dental chairs in there. They're going to cooperate with us. And we leased the ground. We did it with great joy. We gave them a long-term lease. I like that. Now, before we actually get to turning some of this wonderful soil in front of us, I want to thank some people that helped us get to where we are. Certainly the current and former members of the Board of Trustees, and they're represented here by the President of the Board, and you'll hear from him in a moment. They have been marvelous through this whole process. And now, where's my President's staff? Come on, hold up your hand, all of you. Where are you? You're supposed to, yes, okay. These people have been absolutely marvelous. People think I'm pretty good, but it's because of their work, and they make me look good every single day. I appreciate every one of them, and they have delivered on everything. President's staff. And then the faculty, yes, thank you. The faculty and staff at ATSU, wave a hand. There's a bunch of you out there. Good. Thank you. Thank you. You've done it, folks. You've done it. Certainly, President Emeritus Fred Kenning and Janet have been with us all the way, and they're right here. We appreciate them and their tremendous contribution. In many ways, this gentleman saved this university many years ago, so we're grateful for that. Thank you. Thank you. Mayor Dittweiler, Mary Maycomer, and there's several city council members here. I want to thank you. They've been with us from day one on this, and they've really come through. They helped Renee, and they helped Larry, and a lot of folks have been in on this. The members of the Truman State University Board of Governors. You got the board chair here, Ken, and he was here from day one on this. Where are you, Ken? Ken Reed? He likes to hide. He's out there. Where? Yes, okay, he's there. And certainly President Troy Payno is just, we've had such cooperative things going on with President Payno. It's just marvelous. President Evelyn Jorgensen, I think you're out there. She's the president of the Mobile Area Community College, and we've already been in all kinds of discussions with her, as well as Patrick Williams. Now, Patrick, you're out there. Where are you? Patrick? Yes, he's back there. Okay. He's the superintendent here, and the Kirksville Public Schools have really helped us. We have plans for all kinds of cooperative efforts with dental hygienists and dental assistants and some other things that we can do together. Members of the Kirksville Regional Economic Development Group, a bunch of you are there, and we thank you. Chamber of Commerce, and then I mentioned Larry Gardner and Renee Braden, but then all of the friends that donated to the effort that they headed up. And I can tell you they range from a gift of $1 on up. And I knew who the $1 was, and to me that was a very, very precious gift because some people would give a lot more that wouldn't give the percentage that person had. So everybody in this community participated in a huge way. And certainly that first meeting I mentioned, Joe Purley was heading that up. Joe, you got to be here. Where are you? Right here. Okay, Joe Purley at Jefferson City, and then we had Karen Dent, Andy Grimm, Brooks Miller. Are you here? Brooks? He was going to come back from Springfield for this. You might have missed him. Andy, you're there. He thought he wouldn't get here. Good. And then Alan Freeman. Is Alan here? Oh, yes, there he is. Thanks. He's with the Community Health Center in our partner in St. Louis. And then I want to mention Dr. Tisha Kice-Briggs. Where are you, Tisha? Are you here? All right. Oh, yes, back there. She is, as you know, a super dentist in Kirksville, but we have several super dentists in Kirksville. But she's on the board of the Missouri Dental Association, and she's helping us in every way with that. She also took a trip to ASDO, the school in Mesa. I wanted her to see what that was out there. She came back, and I hope I can say this, it's the truth. She said, I wish I had attended a school like that. Now, that's no reflection on where she went, but she got the picture of what we do, and it's really a good thing. And then Thomas Adams, are you here? Thomas Adams, where are you? Yes, okay. He's the gentleman that helped us with the $3 million. And Thomas, we want to be in the queue for the next 3. We got some ideas. Thank you, thank you. And certainly the governor's staff are all around here, and we appreciate what they do every day to make sure things go well for the governor. We have a design team from Canon Design, Jim Walsh and Praneet Jain. I think you're out here somewhere. Yes. And boy, have they done a good job. You need to come up afterwards and look at this building. It is a beautiful structure. And then Kelly Heckenberg, okay, from River City. They're the construction manager of the project. So now it's my pleasure to introduce to you the governor of the state of Missouri, Jay Nixon. Governor Nixon was born in a small town in DeSoto. Family always associated with public service. During his inaugural address, I heard the governor say this, and I really liked it. Community service is not a chore or a burden. It's a responsibility and an honor. And I thought that was beautiful, and I remembered that from his address. After earning both his undergraduate degrees, including a law degree from the University of Missouri, he finally got a high-quality degree when he got an honorary doctorate from ATSU. He began his career as an elected public servant in 1986. He was voted into the Missouri Senate representing people of Jefferson County for 6 years. During this time, he reached across the aisle and passed several pieces of legislation in a very collegial, cooperative manner. He did a lot with the prenatal care expansion, and also it sort of got him on his way to a lifelong commitment for health care, and he's been doing that. He did the Missouri Foundation grant, Missouri Foundation Health piece that I told you about. In 1992, Missouri elected Governor Nixon to serve as the Attorney General. He served 4 terms in that office. He earned a reputation for doing some pretty tough fighting, and he won. Governor Nixon sued against the big tobacco companies, collected billions from Missouri, and that doesn't count the suit against Blue Cross Blue Shield, which set up the Missouri Foundation Health. On November 4, 2008, Missourians overwhelmingly elected Jay Nixon as their 55th governor. Despite these difficult economic times, Governor Nixon is committed to attracting the jobs for the future of Missouri, making health care more affordable, placing college education within the reach of all. He's been a strong supporter of educational opportunities in here with ATSU and Truman, including bringing that letter to me on December 15th. I was really impressed with that. I also will tell you, all of you need to come to the Missouri State Fair. It's one of the finest fairs in the nation. Last August, isn't that right, Brian? Last August, I was privileged to be in the governor's box, and we watched a person right here. What's your name, Governor? Rhonda Benson, our neighbor. I had my board vice president with me, Ken Jones, who many of you know, and he was one of my students at Truman. The vice president on board, I introduced him to the governor. The governor turned around and looked at him right square in the eyes and said, "How's the dental school going?" That was the first thing the governor said to him, and Ken Jones just about died. He didn't even know the governor knew it was happening. Anyway, we're very fortunate to have this person who's devoted his life to public service. He exemplifies the values of the state of Missouri. He's a strong advocate for health care, proven friend in higher education, and certainly a valued personal friend of mine. Welcome to Honorable Governor of the state of Missouri, the Dr. Jay Nixon.
Good morning, and what an incredible day. Senator Munsinger, Representative Wyatt, and other officials here, we appreciate your long and strong support, not only for this project, but for this community and for the important leap forward that today represents. Right after I was elected governor, it's about 2 months afterwards, I went to a health center in rural Missouri. And as I was taking a tour of it with the director of the health center, they were really excited because they had a real problem getting dentists. And after a 2-year search, they had just, right before I got there, just secured a new dentist. And I said, well, that's great. You finally got a dentist, you had the need. And I said, well, can I meet her? And she said, well, she won't graduate from dental school for another 2 years. The point is that all across the state, quite frankly, folks, all across this country, there is a huge gap in the healthcare profession in this bandwidth. And Jack and the team here saw that and competed to do what we're doing today. So I'll be very, very brief here, but Dr. Evans, members of the board, staff, students, alumni, honored guests, it is a privilege for me to be here and to represent 6 million Missourians on this historic day. It is great to see President Paino and our friends at Truman State University and the leadership they provide in higher education, both for this community and for our country. Dr. Halliday, we welcome you as the first dean of the Missouri School of Dentistry and Oral Health, and are delighted to have a medical professional with your knowledge, experience, and national prominence to take the helm at this new school. With you, It looks a little like a beach right now, but it will be a school. We're hopeful. With the addition of the Missouri School of Dentistry and Oral Health and its expected first class in the fall of 2013, the tradition of excellence in training highly qualified and caring medical professionals at A.T. Still University expands and will continue for generations to come. I'll be glad to have these graduates join me as doctors in Missouri, Jack. Those of you that seek medical care from me should be extremely concerned. I carry no malpractice insurance for any of the medical advice I give to anyone. So I want to take just a second and to say to Dr. Magruder, our good friend, I say my good friend, our good friend, the legacy you've done for this community, for Missouri, for the universities you've worked with, for the students' lives you've affected, with a positive, focused vision for the future, and your leadership at the Missouri State Fair. Today is a testament to your career and a capstone in many ways to the faith that people in this community, this state, and quite frankly this country have in your leadership. We're honored to be here with you, Jack. Congratulations to you. Now, the people of Kirksville have even more reason to be proud that they have 2 outstanding universities in a city of this size. A strong tradition of medical and educational excellence put this community at the top of the final list for locating a dental school here. Make no mistake, having a medical school here, having Truman State here, having a community grounded in education, quality education, is important. Kirksville was selected over tough competition from California and Florida, so you have my congratulations. I mean, some may call it tough competition. I don't think it's that close a call, but that's, of course, I got to be from Missouri. And I think this week's early spring weather in Kirksville can compete with just about anywhere else in the country. It's hot, and they don't pay their bills in California, and Florida's got its challenges with the humidity. We're much better off here. Winter approaches with nice winds very quickly here, so we get all 4 of our seasons. I hope everyone here shares my feeling, and quite frankly our state's feeling, that this is a landmark moment. Not only for this university, this community, but for the state of Missouri as well. All across the country, there is a crying need of trained and skilled health professionals, from physical therapists to nurses, technicians, physicians, and dozens of other career opportunities, and we have that shortage here in Missouri. But it is especially important for us to train dentists and other oral health professionals. Addressing our population's oral health, especially among children and underserved groups, is vital to the overall state of public health. Poor oral health is obviously linked to other systemic diseases, so providing adequate dental care is an important way to prevent other serious diseases. It's a challenge we must and will meet, both for improving the overall quality of life and as a way to have more people in careers that are rewarding and secure. This school, nowhere else in America is having a groundbreaking day. Nowhere else in America has this moment we have here today. This is a capstone of excellence that will lead to opportunities in the future. Almost 140 years ago, Kirksville, Missouri was the site of a transformation in healthcare thanks to the vision of Dr. Andrew Taylor Still. But that transformation didn't end back then, not by a long shot. It has been an ongoing story of triumph and success for this community and this university. Just as Truman State University has become one of the preeminent liberal arts universities in America, so too A.T. Still University has become one of the country's outstanding medical schools. And Kirksville has become a center of excellence for education and medicine in our state, our region, our nation, and our world. I look forward to that day in the near future when I can be back here to cut the ribbon for this building in anticipation of that class of 2017. Congratulations again to everyone associated with this outstanding university and with the top-flight dental school that is soon to become part of the A.T. Still legacy. Thank you, and God bless.
My privilege to introduce to you the chair of the A.T. Still University Board of Trustees, Dr. Clyde Evans, lives in Boston, came for this event today. He is not a physician. He has a baccalaureate degree in physics and electrical engineering. He has a PhD in physics and philosophy. And some of you have heard of this institution. I have trouble with it. Michigan State University. Anybody ever heard of that? Anyway, that's where he went. He's been a fantastic board chair. He's been able to work with the board that does freely express difference of opinion, and he's encouraged them to do so. But at the end of the meeting, this gentleman gets consensus on whatever the board does. And I have just marveled at his skill at that. We're certainly appreciative of his time here today. I can tell you from day one, he supported this whole project, and he clearly was a force in the delivery of the $26 million to this dental school. Dr. Clyde Evans.
Good morning, everyone. There's an old saying, when you're up to your neck in alligators, it's hard to remember that your initial objective was to drain the swamp. Today is a good day for remembering. And as a trustee, I have a sworn duty to remember and preserve what has been handed down to us and to do everything in my power to ensure that that continues for future generations. So when I remember and look back, I remember Dr. Still treated patients regardless of their ability to pay. I remember he started KCOM with 21 students, 6 of them were women. And I remember when the school was about to go bankrupt, the people of Kirksville saved the day. And they had never heard the term bailout. When I look forward, I picture all of the young men and women who will study here and have their lives changed forever. I think of the beneficiaries from the competent and compassionate professionals that we will produce. I think of the families who now can't afford dental care or can't go far enough to get it in Kirksville or Missouri and beyond. And finally, I think of all the children who can't concentrate in school because of a toothache or other disease and infection. So on behalf of the entire Board of Trustees, it's an honor for me to be here today. I thank all of you for participating, and we look forward to you standing side by side with us tomorrow and the next day and into the future. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Evans. I'm going to introduce for just a moment, but you're going to hear a whole lot from him for the next 20 years. The next president of this great university is Dr. Craig Phelps, and I'm absolutely delighted with the board's choice, and he's going to be a marvelous person. We're working together daily to make sure this is a successful launching of a presidency, and it's going to be a seamless launching, and I look forward to many years of cooperation and honoring this gentleman. He's going to say a few words, and then I'll introduce the dean of the school.
What a beautiful day. Beautiful for the weather and beautiful for the people that are here. I see children like Benson up front here, who's 3 going on 4, and hopefully one day he'll graduate with a cap and gown on from ATSU. I see President Tinning, who was president at the end of my time at KCOM as a student, and it's great to see you, who signed my diploma. But I see the people out there in the audience as the people who make this city happen. Those that welcome the students for 120 years. Those who are going to welcome the new students. And in return, those students leave this community with memories of you and this town, this city, that stay with them for the rest of their lives. And I want to thank you for the experience that you've given all of our students. The support that you've given to this project is transformational for a small city, and we want to thank you very, very much. To get an appointment with Governor Nixon, you're going to have to make an appointment with his staff, and knowing how tough he is, it could be a while till you get in for that medical problem or dental problem with Governor Nixon, but we want to thank you for those kind words. Thanks to Clyde. You'll meet Dean Halliday. Thanks to Dr. Magruder, but thanks to all of you. This is your day, City of Kirksville. Thank you for your support, and we look forward to another great 120 years. Thank you.
Privilege for me to introduce to you Dr. Chris Halliday. He was here in December, and I met him last fall, and we worked like crazy to get this gentleman. After he accepted his position here, we sent out the word, and we've received emails from all over the country wondering, how did you get him to come to your school? And you're going to hear how, but it's because he bonded with the people here. He knows what our mission is. He's experienced it for years, and I'm just going to introduce to you. The rank is impressive to me. Rear Admiral Chris Halliday, a super dentist.
Well, thank you, Dr. Magruder, and thank you, Governor Nixon, Dr. Phelps, members of the board, trustees, Dr. Evans. Most of all, I'd like to thank the citizens of Kirksville. I want to thank you. I came here in December at the invitation of Dr. Magruder. I met many citizens at various functions around town, and instantly I felt accepted, wanted, and appreciated. So I just want to thank you all so much. I'm very proud to say that I'm hopefully your newest citizen here in town. I'm looking forward to working and living around each of you. My goal is to promise you that we will develop this dental school as being the dental center of excellence in the country, if not globally, and I don't say that lightly. I do know that this institution has a long and documented history of providing quality healthcare providers throughout the world, and I'm going to follow suit with that, make sure that our dental providers that we provide are the best. This is going to be a partnership. It's going to be a partnership with healthcare disciplines outside of dentistry. It's going to be a partnership with community leaders, community members. We're going to welcome your input, your feedback. So please, I hope all of you consider yourself to be partners in this dental school. And we're going to strive to develop dentists that emphasize collaboration, a comprehensive delivery of oral health care, community-based activities, and as A.T. Still University likes to often tout, we're going to develop compassionate healthcare providers. And it's real quickly, if you bear with me, collaboration, I mean that. I'm going to make sure that our students as well as our graduates interact with the community members. We're going to partner with healthcare providers, each and every one of you. We're going to partner with school systems. We're going to partner with state and local dental societies. We're going to partner with the state political factions and functions as well. We're going to develop a comprehensive system of oral health care. We're going to develop the preeminent dentist as far as diagnosing, treating, referring disease, and also follow-up care. As you've heard, there's a huge gap in this country on access to oral health care. We live in a system, unfortunately, where there are far more dentists retiring each year than graduating from dental school. The access problem is a real problem. We're going to do our best to develop healthcare providers that recognize the needs of underserved and vulnerable population groups, do our best to develop safety nets to increase access to care to as many people as humanly possible. Community-based, we're going to make sure that the providers graduating from this dental school develop not only individual treatment plans for the patients they're seeing that moment in the chair, but they're also going to develop community-based prevention plans for an entire community. And I'm talking prevention programs that impact in a favorable way the entire community. And then, of course, with compassion, we want to make sure that we're graduating folks from this dental school that will take into account the needs of every person they meet. We're going to make sure we develop providers that are culturally sensitive, culturally fluent, and deliver care in a culturally appropriate manner. So, to sum it up, I'm going to make sure I do my best to continue the long and documented glorious history of A.T. Still University in providing health care providers throughout the nation and the world. I'm looking forward to working and living in a community with each and every one of you. I'm going to count on you in a partnership. I welcome feedback from everyone, and it's going to be a great collaborative, a great partnership. So once again, I'm looking very forward to this transition to Kirksville and A.T. Still University, and I want to thank all of you for accepting me into your community, and it's going to be a great partnership. So thank you.
I think one thing that helped us recruit Dr. Halliday was that he came and saw what's going on in Kirksville. He saw two great universities and wonderful citizens, tremendous welcome. And a few years at Barrow, Alaska, I think helped him decide this was a good place. So we're thankful for that experience. I also need to let you know the sun is shining, the sky is blue, and it's a fantastic day here. And I need to let you know that I've had many happy days, and this is one of the happiest days of my life, except the day I met this young lady. Where are you sitting? August 4, 1954, in the enrollment line at Truman State University. And I was unable to run fast enough. She stayed with me all the way through. And the board knows that I would not have been able to take this job had she not said yes. They asked me to do this. We've been retired 4 years. I said, I can't do it without talking to Sue. They handed me a cell phone and said, go out in the hall and holler. 20 minutes later, I came back in. I said, Sue said I could do it. And so they know. Had she said no, I wouldn't have had this great opportunity. But she supported me all my life. And I appreciate that. And she's going to really get after me tonight. She does not want me to do what I just did. But I think it's time. I'm old enough now. I'll be able to think for myself. Thank you, Sue. We're about 40 seconds from putting those shovels in this soil. I honestly believe, and I say I believe, that this is a God-given piece of earth for us, right here, and it's entrusted to the citizens of this community and A.T. Still to cause it to bring forth fruit. Amen. That fruit is for persons in need to live better lives, be healthier, increase wellness, lessen pain and suffering in our own community as well as throughout the world. We can bring forth the fruit that's similar to the spirit of Dr. Andrew Taylor Still when he told the citizens of this community it was his great desire to extend the touch of the soft hand of human kindness to those in need. And friends, every one of us know everybody's in need in some way or another. That spirit of A.T. Still is what's generating what's happening right here in this community and in this university. We extend the touch in ways because of the competent, compassionate healthcare professionals that graduate from A.T. Still University. And they do go around the world. And I'm just so grateful to be a part of an organization that feels that way and behaves that way. And that's got to give meaning to every person here and every person employed, all our students. It's marvelous what they can do. And all of it from Andrew Taylor Still in Kirksville, Missouri, 1892, when he started this. That is absolutely marvelous. There's 24 to 30 DO schools out there, 77,000, 78,000 DO